Virgos out there, please make sure to get my book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The link to that should be in the description box below as usual. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, too, another reason why it is that you should be subscribing is because if you're looking for a tarot reader that talks about love on a tarot reading channel, this is it. This is all it is that we do. When it comes to my private services, I have a $35 for 15-minute question one. You know, no amount of cards, no limit, I should say, on amount of cards. It's just the time frame. The $35 one is basically, we're talking about love. The $70 one, the $80 one, and the $100 one, we can basically talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, right? So, sorry about that. You know, trying to get my equipment together, but you know, sometimes that happens. But the thing is that, so we could basically talk about whatever it is that you want. Now, let's start off with this. Let me see what the Virgos have got going on. All right. So, the cards that I come up with for the Virgos are the Moon. I am a Virgo myself, so I'm going to be looking along just like y'all. The Moon, the Eight of Cups, okay, the Tower, the Death card, King of Swords, Nine of Swords, Justice, the Strength, Three of Pentacles, and last but not least, we have the Sun. So, what I'm seeing here so far is, hold on a second. Yeah, what I'm seeing here so far is this being a situation for a lot of you Virgos, where a lot of you Virgos right around now, or I should say have been in the process currently, right? Potentially even past tense, because a lot of the times when the cards read for me, they usually read sometimes they read past tense, right? Something that's already occurred, right? If not, it already happened, or is in the process of happening now. So why that's important is because the Moon, the Eight of Cups, is about you kind of being more direct with who you are and what it is that you want in a relationship even more, and walking away from a particular type of concept of what modern day dating is about, right? You want something real, right? As everyone wants something and someone real. It's just that some people will be more upfront about it. Some people will front about it, fake about it. And the Eight of Cups is you walking away, right? The Tower is about how you as Virgos had this, like I said, you have the Tower and you have the Death card. So both of these cards represent Scorpio, right? Both of them represent Scorpio. And why that's important is because it's basically about self-destruction, complete destruction of the old you that does not work anymore, right? Remember how it is I said that Virgo and Scorpio used to share zodiac sign. It is true, okay? The zodiac sign was called Spica, S-P-I-C-A. And why that's important in the first place is because Virgo still has a little bit of that Scorpio energy into it. So go watch the Scorpio video, right? To get a better understanding, okay? And the Scorpios should watch this video of Virgos as well. Now, with that being said, because you have that level of self-destruction, what is being destroyed is the fake you, the fake version of you, the version that it, tries to become real, that doesn't work for you, and it's not really who you are, and it's not really you. So as a result of this, right, the Death card is about not just a change, but a change on a fundamental level. So the King of Swords now represents how, so now a lot of you Virgos are like, okay, well, what does work for you now, right? What does, what does work for you now? Try to adjust the camera. And what does work for you is being direct with yourself. And a lot of you Virgos with the King of Swords here, you're learning how to be more direct with yourself, so that it's not a situation where, you're kind of putting on all this extras and stuff like this. A lot of you Virgos are starting to realize what works for you, what doesn't. And it's attractive. You know what I mean? It's attractive. A lot of people are attracted to it. And as a result of this, it's kind of turning heads right around now, not openly, but like a lot of people will look at you kind of, even in my own life as a Virgo myself, when I step outside, women do look, not every last one, obviously, but of course, but women do look, and anyway, I don't even want to get into that. But the point is, the Nine of Swords and the Justice are about this being a situation for you where the Nine of Swords and the Justice is about you asking, kind of questioning yourself, are you ready to get back into the dating scene? And that answer can only ultimately be answered. That question can only be answered from you, right? It's just a matter of, do you think that you are ready to step back into the dating arena? It's up to you, because the Nine of Swords represents how you're kind of self-conscious. Virgos usually are, right? Especially when the Virgos don't have that level of real self-confidence, right? A lot of the Virgos can be self-conscious, overly conscious about how they look and how they look and what people think about them, right? And what's going on. So as a result of this, a lot of you Virgos need to understand that all that stuff is nothing but an illusion. Yeah, you are handsome. Yeah, you do look good. It's just a matter of you seeing that internally is the situation, right? And that's where the Justice lies. It's up to you to make the decision, right? The Strength will have you thinking that maybe you're not ready, or maybe you shouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean? Or maybe, that's not the case. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you're not, you know what I mean? You need to do some more things to get better. The Three of Pentacles and the Sun, right? A lot of Leo showing up, because Leo rules the Strength, which is the narcissism, the ego, and then the Sun rules the awareness, right? When Leo decides to do it, how Leo can actually let a lot of that knowledge shine through, right? Because Leos are smarter than what it is that they're given credit for, right? Now the Three of Pentacles and the Sun card represent, since this is a very important topic for you, the Three of Pentacles and the Sun card represents when you hanging around your friends, right? Your friends, your platonic friends will help you out, because they're going to give you some compliments that you never even knew that they thought about you, right? They're going to let you know that, yeah, you're attractive. They think of you as being cute. You know what I mean? They think of you as being cute and all that stuff. They think of you as being, handsome, beautiful, right? And then the Sun card represents how you will kind of be excited, you'll be excited about this, because this is a very interesting turn, I should say, for the Virgos, right? Because the Virgos, like I said, can be very self-conscious, right? Especially when the Virgos don't have that strong sense of confidence, right? It usually takes crossing the abyss, like I talk about in my magic class. That's going to be one of my services as well, where I talk about crossing the abyss. And what crossing the abyss is basically about having basically self-destruction, having almost nothing or nothing, and pushing through and persevering. And if you can do that, then that's great, because the heights that you'll soar to will be amazing. And then there's the people who decide to get swallowed under by the abyss, and they stay there. And this can be seen in many different occurrences, right? One of the movies, and I actually used this as an example yesterday, but I just got reminded of it just now. The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith and Jaden Smith, right? That was crossing the abyss. That was an example of crossing the abyss. The idea that Will Smith in the movie lost almost everything. You know what I mean? I think everything, or almost everything. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that Will Smith didn't lose was the ability to breathe, but lost the son, lost the wife, lost the job, lost the home, lost everything. And what happened at the end after Will Smith, the character that the person was playing, because that was based on a real story, a true story. What happened to that character, that person, right? Will Smith in the movie, but it was based on the person's real life of what happened to them. They end up becoming a millionaire. So, yeah. Let's clarify the Sun card. Let's clarify the Sun. We have the Justice, the Strength, which you already got, the Eight of Cups. So again, the Justice, again, is about again, your own decision making, and what I mean when I say your own decision making is, and it's quite ironic that this actually comes out for the Sun. The Sun represents Leo, but Leo represents, in the higher forms, Leo represents your awareness, where your attention goes, the spotlight, right? Your awareness, where your attention is. So as a result of this, the Justice represents, are you handsome? Are you beautiful? That is a decision that has to be made for you. You have to make that decision. It's exactly like what they told you in the movie The Last Dragon. You are the master. But if you don't step up and take that responsibility, take that ownership over yourself, then you will always remain the student over someone else's tutelage, right? Looking for someone else to teach you stuff, as opposed to people teaching you to a certain extent, but at the same time, you still have to go out there and experience. You understand what I'm saying? A teacher can only teach you but so much. You still need the experience to have a more well-rounded perspective. And the thing is that the Strength card and the Eight of Cups represent, since this is the case, the strength is about understanding that you, first and foremost, you have to create boundaries, right? With everyone, right? Healthy boundaries, nothing out of pocket, but healthy boundaries. And like for me, for instance, one of my boundaries is when people talk stuff about me or whatnot. That's one of my boundaries. So for instance, is that if I'm cool with you and then I say something like, hey, XYZ or whatever the case may be, I got to bounce for a minute or whatnot. And then you go, oh, well, you weird, you this, you that. Oh, that's a boundary right there that you just crossed. I'm not really messing with you on. Why? Because there was no need for that. You don't know everything. I told you I got to bounce, not to mess you up, but I told you I got to bounce because I'm paying, I got a South Node in Cancer, so I'm paying attention to the landscape to see if it changes, to see if it remains the same, to gain introspection on how I should move, my creativity. You don't know everything. And that's the same thing that you Virgos have to understand, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not making it about me. I'm trying to give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. The Eight of Cups represents also as well, and walk away from individuals who are on some BS. And that's non-negotiable. Let's clarify the King of Swords. Now remember, the King of Swords, as I was trying to say, represents you Virgos being handsome to other people. Or fly, you know what I mean? You know, depending on who you're asking. So you have the Two of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and then you have the Nine of Swords. Now, again, this is your own worry that you shouldn't be worried about, okay? But the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Wands represents, oh yeah, and you even have some people who are kind of thinking about speaking to you a little bit, you know, speaking to you a little bit. So yes, you are most definitely attractive. It's just that you Virgos just need to understand how attractive, how deeply attractive you are. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Peace.